Man, Gray, every time that I hear that, I want to say, let's play ball.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Hey, we're starting off strong, Gray. Check it out. Surviving Behind Liberal Lines just gifted 10 memberships. Thank you very much.
That's awesome.
Thank you for that.
That is
How's
really
everyone
nice.
doing today? What's up, Gray? What's happening, brother?
You know, while I was sitting here thinking about the whole April Fool's thing, I thought, man, if I only had a Biden 2024 hat, I could have wore that, and people would have been freaking the hell out.
Yeah, that would have been a good one. Put up a well, I would have had to get one. Put up a Biden 2024 flag.
Oh, people would have thought we were insane, man.
Well, I'm sure you're okay with doing that when I'm hosting the live.
Yes,
I'd have probably lost like 1,000 subs if I did that. How's everyone doing? I see we've got all our mods here. Hello, ladies. Hello, everyone. Happy Monday to all of you. Thank you for joining in. Gray tells me that we have a lot to talk about today, so I'm going to go ahead and take a little sip of my water and get my throat ready, okay, so that we can take off. Did you bring? You only brought one cup, Gray?
I mean, I could always fill it back up, man.
Oh, you're gonna need a bigger cup.
I get one of those old school 7-Eleven cups. They're like a gallon. That would be hilarious.
Yeah, I remember those. Those things used to work great too.
Mm-hmm. They were good, great insulated cups. You pay like $5 for it.
I'm gonna mute myself because I got a cough. All right, Gray, take it away, man.
So hopefully everybody's been paying attention for the last couple of weeks, man, because I know I guarantee you Rudy's going to be somebody like, man, I did not know Gray was going to be doing a giveaway on Rudy's channel. I didn't know Gray was doing giveaways. Yeah, and I'm like, you know, I put it in the community tab. I've said it on multiple live streams. So yes, folks, tonight Gray is going to be giving away 5 things. Well, kind of like 2 things, but 4 Amazon gift cards, $25 gift cards that I have to give away, and also a Blue Yeti AC70. So if you are been on my channel, you should know these giveaways are happening tonight, sometime during this live stream. I got it all set up in the background, and me and Rudy got it all worked out. So it should be fun. So stay tuned. So you guys are going to have to listen to us ramble on at least for an hour before we get to that.
All right. Well, hey, great. Let me go to I'm going to put this banner up right quick and let everyone know here early in the stream. That way they can take advantage of this if you want to. Ladies and gentlemen, I call Nutrient Survival. I actually called Eric Christensen, the CEO, and I was like, hey, Eric, can I get a 20% coupon off for 3 days? And I actually asked him for more at first. All right. you can even verify with him when he's at a live. I asked him for more than 20% off. And he was like, AP, we have to survive as a company. So I was like, all right, can I get 20% off for 3 days? So from now until the 3rd of April, through April 3rd, you get 20% off anything that you buy at the store at Nutrient Survival. The link and the code is at the top of the description of this video. I'll leave this banner up until we need to put something else up. That way, anyone that comes in new can be advised, and I don't have to repeat it every 5 or 10 minutes.
Can I ask you a question?
By the way, Gray, do you know that Nutrient Survival is the very best freeze-dried food in the market when it comes to nutrition, and that it tastes really good? Did you know that?
Well, I'm going to add 2 things to that. One, does that 20% also count if they buy a GREYMAN bucket?
Anything. They can buy anything at the store. So if you haven't bought your GREYMAN bucket, go buy the GREYMAN bucket. It doesn't matter what it is. Anything at the store, just click on you got to click on my link, ladies and gentlemen, to get the 20% off. And the code is down there as well. People always get confused with the code, so I just put it right next to the link. And 20% off is a great deal. For that kind of food, especially. It's awesome food. Anyways, let's take it away, Gray.
You know, just one last thing about Nutrient Survival. Yesterday, the wife. Oh
man, that is so awesome. That would be so awesome, Gray, if they sent you a cup that was like 1.5 gallons.
I mean, folks, you guys on my channel in the description, there is my PO box. You're more than welcome to send whatever you like.
There it is. Maybe that'll be a Christmas present from me to you, Gray.
But you'll have to put, maybe you could embroider or do both of our logos or something that'd be cool.
We have a great question here. Gray. Skipping rocks. How you
Ah,
doing, Way? And I seen Rakamas. Look at this. Have you seen this?
Raka.
I haven't seen Rakamas in a little bit. How you doing, Rakamas? Good to see you, brother. Let me see. Skipping Rock says, did you ask Eric about if he plans to do freeze-dried meats? I've asked them and talked to them about this a lot in the past, and right now they cannot. Ladies and gentlemen, one thing that you have to understand about nutrient survival is they're considered a new business. I think they're going on their third year right now, either their third or their fourth year, and they're still in the red as a business. So until they break through to the other side, meaning from red to black, they cannot add on. They cannot really invest a lot of money into the business to add on. And in order for them to do meats, they're going to have to add on an additional space to their warehouse and to the facilities, because they want to make sure that they keep the food that they make now, like the vegetarian type food they make now, without any meats in it, and it can't be in the same area. I hope I explained that right, but it's pretty much just red tape. It's red tape that costs a lot of money for them to be able to do it when they can. So eventually I can see them doing it, but in the immediate future, no. I recommend Mountain House for your meat products. So if you buy Nutrient Survival, and especially if you can get Mountain House on sale when they have their meat products on sale for like 50% off, that's a great deal. So you've got your nutrition with Nutrient Survival, and then you can add your meat products from Mountain House or even Thrive. I think Thrive has really good meat products as well.
Mhm.
So thank you for the question, by the way.
You got to look at 30. I think, what was it? 307 Minuteman.
Oh, I have to look for a question from 307 Minuteman.
No, just look what he wrote.
Oh, I don't know. What's the timestamp? I don't know what the timestamp is.
Well, your time is 307. Mine's 707.
Oh, 307. Okay. Oh man, is Minuteman making fun of me now just for taking over like that? Just a second, man. No, I'm not missing. Okay, Minuteman. Oh no, this is not AI. I don't think AI could keep up with me, Gray.
Probably not, man. You know, and it's funny. I was thinking about that the other day. How many times, because I was reading, you did the video, what was it? You did a video on something just recently. So I did a pantry haul video, and I got reprimanded in the comment section about how to pronounce caco, several different types. Cacao.
It's cacao. I try to teach you, man.
I know. And then I watched a video that you just did about broods. And you said, yeah.
Isn't it broods?
Yeah, you said broods or something, and someone was correcting you down in the comments. So AI doesn't make this type of mistakes. Oh man, but
how do you say it? Isn't it broods?
They try to like sound it out for you in a big long thing.
That's all right, man. That's all right. There's nothing wrong with that.
I always tell them thank you, man, because you know I mess up so much, man. Even I watch what is this channel called? I think it's Skinny Medic or somebody. He does a lot of medical stuff, and he's like, look, man, I will get things wrong, so please do your research. I make mistakes, I will misspeak, blah blah blah. And I'm like, we're human. We are bound to make mistakes. That's what we all say. Hey, this is our personal perspective. Do your own follow up with some research, a lot of yada yada. Just because it's just bound to happen. But I do want to say one thing though. We used the vitamin butter yesterday to make gravy. To make gravy for the turkey that we had. Yeah. Absolutely. The wife was like, man, this thing tastes so good. It has like that real creamy butter. And I said, yeah, but by the way, you're getting vitamins while you eat that. But she loved it, man. She loved it, that nutrient butter.
You know what I do with my nutrient butter? You know when I mix my vitamin eggs, I put them in a blender, and then I just put some nutrient butter in there. And I blend it up with the vitamin eggs. And then you can literally taste the butter in the eggs when you cook them. The only thing about the nutrient butter, and I've said this before, and I haven't found a powdered butter that melts. And the same thing with the nutrient butter. It's not going to melt. You're not going to whisk it up and then put it in your pan and it's going to melt. It's not. I've never found a powdered butter that will do that. However, you can use it just like butter on any other way. You can use it to bake. You can use it like I did with my eggs. I just mix it with the powder at the same time that I'm mixing my eggs. And you can even reconstitute it and spread it onto bread while it's like in the not liquid form, but a more non-viscous form, or a like a what
Almost
do you
like
call it? Like a paste, like butter, like the butter form.
Just like a paste. Because I said the wife was asking me, she's like, because she thought the same thing. She's like, "Am I going to put this in a frying pan?" I'm like, no. This is how you do it. And I said, it says to add this much water, but add this little bit, and then just add it to the consistency that you like, and then you can use it from there. So yeah, absolutely, you can do that. So. But it's good stuff, man. I was very happy with it because some people don't get a chance to try. They buy the stuff and they put it in that pantry and they forget about it. You and I, we use a lot of this stuff to kind of get a feel how it all works.
Yeah.
Vision Preparedness. How you doing,
Trent? Vision Preparedness. There's Battle Born from the Silver State. Man, have you seen gold? Look. The U.S. here, or the Western nations, are trying to suppress gold as much as they can. And let me tell you how, at least this is what I think. So this morning, I woke up at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm in early to bed. So I was to bed around 8:30, 9 o'clock last night. I woke up around 1:30, went to the bathroom, came back to bed, tried to go back to sleep, wasn't going to do it. So I just got up. So I started taking a look at the gold market, because the gold and silver market are active at 1 or 2 in the morning, but they're the East. It's the East that's influencing the market at that time, because our markets here in the West are not open yet. So the price action that you see at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning is from the East. And it hit almost $2,280, Gray. I was like, oh my goodness, $2,280. That's crazy. And then as soon as our markets opened up, it went right back down under 2250. I think it closed the day today at like 2254. Let me see what it closed the day at. I think it was about 2254, something like that. And let me tell you what it is that I'm looking for. I got it up here.
I'm at 2253. 2253.40.
Oh, look at that! Right, you see, and right now it's 2263.
Oh, so it's
right
up 10.
now. Yep, but we're the price now is being influenced from the East, because the markets in the West are closed, right? What I'm looking for, Gray, is I am hoping I have a little bit of gold. I've got mostly silver, because I think in the long run, silver can be bartered a lot easier.
Agreed.
But also, I think that silver, in regard to percentage gains, will outperform gold. Meaning that even though gold is going to go to a high number, in my opinion, silver may not go to the same heights as gold, like $2,000, but the percentage that it gains is going to be a lot more than gold in the end, right? When it's all said and done. So what I'm looking for is I'm looking to maybe get my little bit of gold that I have traded in for some silver, but I'm trying to wait for the perfect time, where maybe, let's say, silver, maybe it'll get very close to 100 or 110 to 1 ratio, because we did hit 120 here a couple of years ago. I think it was 120 ounces of silver to 1. So I think that if I can scrounge up, I'm not sure how smart this would be, because I do know that the smaller denominated coins of gold that there are, the more of a premium. But I've had these coins for so long that I've already way outperformed the premium that I paid for them. So I'm thinking it would be smart to take the equivalence of like an ounce and trade it in for silver, being that I think that silver is going to way outperform gold in the end. But that's what I'm looking for as far as the price of gold. I'm actually hoping that the price of silver comes down as the price of gold goes up.
I mean, I wouldn't fault you, brother. I mean, I took when gold spiked a while back, I think it was last year sometime. I can't remember. It had a huge spike. And it wasn't an American gold. It was still gold. I think it was from Vietnam or something like that I had picked up, a long time ago. And I traded it in for a bunch of silver, just because I like to get, basically silver rounds and stuff like that. But it was just the right time to do stuff like that, and I agree with you. Silver is a lot easier to trade off versus you don't want to give someone even a tenth of silver for, some eggs and some milk. That would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I truly understand. Did you see who was running the country yesterday? The Easter
The
Bunny?
who was running the country?
Well, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, but
the W followed by the H followed by the O.
but yeah, I guess the Easter Bunny. And I thought to myself when I saw the video,
Easter Bunny was running the country yesterday, huh?
yeah, it was breaking news by CNN, and it had the Easter Bunny at the podium and stuff like that. And I thought to myself, you know what? This is probably a better option than who we have currently. I mean, just my personal opinion.
Oh goodness.
Oh man. I guess they thought it was funny or something like that. I was like, man, I said, most people out there are probably watching this thinking, actually, that's a better option. That is an absolute.
Oh, you know what? I'm not sure if you saw the video I put up today, but there's a small, I don't know, maybe a 5-second, 7-second clip of President Trump saying something that I think people ought to really listen to, and is very, very important. And you know how, oh man, I saw a few videos on this and read a few articles about it. I didn't really talk about it too much on one of my videos because it's been out there so much. But that the SWIFT system, you know what the SWIFT system is, right?
Yeah.
For the US? Okay. So for those of you out there that don't know what the SWIFT system is, it's kind of like the internet for money in the Western nations. It's how money travels through space in Western nations. It's one of the reasons why Russia and Venezuela and Iran and all of these other countries that maybe are not very friendly with us want to get away from the dollar, because we kind of like kick them off the SWIFT system, meaning that we kick them off of the system that enabled them to trade, excuse me, with other countries in US dollars. That's what the SWIFT system is. So they put out a paper saying that within the next 12 to 18 months, they were going to transition to CBDCs, which means that if you want to play within the SWIFT system, you're going to have a CBDC yourself. And that's what we use. Actually, we're the ones that are like in charge of the SWIFT system, right? So pretty much we're saying, hey, in the next 12 to 18 months, we're going to have a CBDC. Well, DJT, or Orange Man Bad, I played a little clip of him on my video today where he said, we will not have a centrally backed digital currency. And then he goes on to say for the rest of the video, if you go watch it, because that will steal your freedoms 100%. So he understands what a CBDC is and the results of what will happen if we get a CBDC. So I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, you can think for yourselves, but a CBDC will be the end of freedom, especially if people with the thirst for power that are in office now continue to be in office. Go ahead, say it, Gray. Say it. I know what you're thinking, man. Say it.
No, I'm just thinking because there's so much stuff that's happening. I watched this guy break it down. He did like a short somewhere on YouTube that I came across, and he was showing as they call it, the dream team on the Democratic ticket. Basically, you had Obama, you had Clinton, and you had Biden there all together trying to outraise money for his campaign and stuff like that. And I'm like, man, it's just evil incarnate from my perspective. And did you see this pissed a lot of people off, and I'll be honest with you. And I don't know how far we should dig into it in regard to what Biden declared Easter Sunday to actually be. Did you hear about all that?
I have no idea what he says. So go ahead. I'm excited to hear what he said.
All right. So I'm going to read it directly from basically Catholics and Christians across America. They reposted Trump's thing that he had on Truth Social. So a statement from Trump campaign on the Joe Biden's blasphemous declaration of Trans Visibility Day on Easter Sunday. It's appalling and insulting that Joe Biden's White House forbidded children from submitting religious egg designs for their Easter art event and formally proclaimed Easter Sunday as Trans Day of Visibility. Sadly, these are just two more examples of the Biden administration's years-long assault on the Christian faith. We call on Joe Biden's failing campaign and White House issued an apology to the millions of Catholics and Christians across America who believe tomorrow is, for one celebration only, the resurrection of Jesus Christ.
Well, Gray, let me tell you what. The thing I don't agree with in that statement is that it's not just against Christians. It's against humanity. Right? This assault is not only this specific assault, but all of the other assaults that we've seen committed in the last 3 or so years. It's an assault against humanity. And unfortunately, the useful idiots can't see that. Just like the what's their name? I always mess it up. Last time I said the brown jackets, instead of the brown shirts.
The brown shirts, yeah.
Just like the brown shirts thought they were doing something good. When their time came to be disappeared, they were disappeared by the battalion that was built up by the little guy with a mustache that started with 2 letters, an S followed by an S, if you understand what I'm saying. So what this administration has been doing, unfortunately, has been an assault against humanity. And the useful idiots just don't understand that they're the first ones that will suffer. When we have a serious food crisis, Gray, who do you think will suffer most? Those that are going along to get along, or those that are like, you know what? Let me get prepped, because I don't really think that what we're being told is the truth. I think the people that aren't getting prepared are the ones that are going to suffer the most. And those are usually the ones that have faith in the people that are telling them the lies that they're sucking up. Let me go ahead and take a quick, let me go ahead and respond. I'll let you respond to this too, Gray.
Okay.
But Gigi, Gigi asked, if I could only try one product from Nutrient Survival, what would you suggest? Haven't had freeze-dried food since MREs in the 90s. So try the homestyle scramble. It is delicious, in my opinion. One of the things I like to do with the homestyle scramble is I don't like to put as much water as they ask for, and then I take it and I fry it in butter like if it was a hash brown, and it's really good. I don't know if you've tried that before. But what about you, Gray?
I'm going to be honest with you, brother. I like the vitamin eggs, man. I like taking those eggs,
absolutely,
and adding some cheese to it. And taking some stuff fresh from the garden, mixing up like, a little country breakfast kind of like situation there. And it's great. The eggs, to me, someone had said to me that they feel that the eggs still had like a vitamin taste to them. But I just don't get that. They taste phenomenal the way I cook them.
Yeah, it's different for different people. I have a friend that says too, they can taste the vitamins and everything. And I'm like, oh, wow. And the reason that surprised me is because my wife, man, she can taste something. There can be one molecule of something in food, and she'll be like, oh, wow, I can taste that. And I'm like, what? I mean, she's got like these supernatural senses. And when she tried the Nutrient Survival eggs for the first time, the vitamin eggs, I gave them to her, and I was like, hey, this was like 2 years ago, I think. I say, you want to try these eggs? And she tried them, and she was like, these came out of a can? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, these things just taste like eggs. I'm like, wow, that's awesome, because that's what I thought when I tried them. They're obviously full of vitamins, so that's pretty good. But I mean, everyone's different. You have different palates. Your senses are more active. Some people's senses are more active, etc. So yeah, that doesn't surprise me that some people say that they can taste it in there.
What I was going to tell you, do you want to switch gears real fast?
Yeah, man. Yeah, take it away, man.
This is going to be, it could be considered a sensitive topic because there's so many different people with so many different opinions. I think you actually might have did a video on it, but the whole ship that crashed into the bridge, the Key Bridge over there and up there in Maryland, and because man, once that thing happened, there was video after video after video, and then YouTube after YouTube video, and then on Twitter and here and Rumble and everywhere. There's everybody having their own
world behind White Lion. Is that where you're getting at?
Yeah, pretty much, man. At first I was curious as well. I mean, I saw the lights go off, and I'm like, someone said cyber attack, and I'm thinking, a lot of things are run by computers these days. And then someone said terrorist attack, but then I thought, here's what made me think not terrorist attack, because the ship called into the port and said they're having this issue, and they got all the traffic off the bridge before the ship hit the bridge, except for the construction workers that were left on there. So they were able to clear the bridge prior to it going down. So that makes me think, why would a terrorist, kind of be like, hey, by the way, we're about to hit a bridge kind of thing. So that makes me take that scenario that it was a terrorist attack out of that scenario. The other aspect of the cyber attack, now to me, it's hard to say, how can they debunk that? You know what I mean? Like, we will never know if it was or wasn't. But some of the folks that I know down in the port of Miami that kind of do that same job say there's so many things that can go wrong with the generators cutting on and how many minutes in between. And this one guy on YouTube really did a great job of breaking each step down of how they lose control, because I guess this happens more often than we think. It's just it doesn't happen as frequent. Like it happens, I think there's been 50 of them in the last so many, 100, not 100 years, but 50 years or something like that. So it's every once in a while, but usually not in the U.S. And then ironically, another ship hit a bridge just recently in the U.S. It didn't do much damage. It did more damage to the ship than to the bridge. So that was interesting to have two of them in the same week. But I don't know. What are your thoughts, man?
Man, I mean, people are probably tired of hearing me say this, but it's like, it doesn't really matter too much what it was. To me, what matters is what will the repercussions of this be?
Absolutely.
Is it going to affect, the price of gas? Is it going to affect our supply chain and all that kind of stuff? Because it's already happened, you see. And what does it matter who did it or why they did it? All that really matters is that it was done. And they're going to have an investigation into it to see exactly what that was all about. And hopefully if it was human error, it won't happen again. And if it was some kind of a hacking or whatever, they can hopefully, get better systems where that won't happen again. But you know how that kind of stuff goes. Once you get a better system that's unhackable, someone develops something that can hack it, etc. It's going to be an ongoing thing with the technology that we live within today, right? So, I mean, the point I'm trying to make too is that just get prepared, man, because what happened down there, from what I understand, is going to have far-reaching repercussions, and it's going to last a long time. And only because we don't see it today doesn't mean that it's not going to happen, where we're going to have problems with A, B, or C 6 months, 1 year down the line, because it's going to take so long for this to be resolved, for the bridge to be repaired, for that passageway to be able to allow ships to go in and out of it, etc. But I mean, what can we really do about it now? Let's say it was a T attack, right? Okay, what can we do about it? Go send some ICBMs or some 2,000-pound JDAMs to some, little village somewhere in the East? I mean, I don't know. So I mean, and there's so many things that we can get into with this, Gray. I mean, so many cans we can open on this. It's like, why would we send something to some village? How do we know for a fact that someone did it? And how do we not know, ask the people, that this was kind of like a what is it, a black flag? Is that what it is? Black flag,
a false flag,
false flag, black swan, false flag. How do we not know that this was some kind of a false flag, so that we can use this narrative in order to do something somewhere that's 10,000 miles away, etc. Man, I mean, there's just so many things. That's why I always revert back to, hey, are you prepared? Do you know that this happens, and what could be the repercussions of this 6 months from now? Is it that there's not going to be enough Band-Aids on the shelf? Well, guess what? Stock up on Band-Aids, right? Etc. Stock up on this, stock up on that. Is it chemicals? What are those chemicals that can't get through that bridge now? What were they used for? All right, stock up on this. If you see a little bit, go get a little bit off the shelf. Don't clean the shelf off. You got plenty of time. Stock up on all of this stuff, because I would say that 90% of the people that see that saw what's going on with that, they don't even think like that. They don't think enough to say, okay, they don't think like a prepper. Okay, what's going to happen here 6 months down the road? What am I going to need 6 months down the road that I won't be able to get because of what happened here today, or because of what happened there? As far as what caused it, it could be anything, really. And that's the problem, is that it could be anything, but we're going to be told what they want us to think that it is. And how many times has that gotten us in trouble? Weapons of mass destruction, anyone? Yellow cake, anyone? I lost all respect for that gentleman. May he rest in peace. All right, because he is deceased. But I lost all respect for that gentleman when he did that. He lied to America, and look at how many Americans are now not with us anymore because of that one statement that he made. Because he sold his soul. He sold his soul for something. And now a lot of Americans and a lot of civilians are no longer here with us because of the decision that he made on a personal basis because of greed. Anyways, I digress.
Now you're fine. I wanted to add to that because roughly about 8,000 jobs will be lost at the port.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's going to take quite some time for them to structurally take everything out. All the other cargo that's on the ports that they have to find out where to go where and how to get it. They're talking about shutting down another tunnel, possibly running that with the hazardous materials in there. And the reason they usually don't that, even a plumber can't go through the tunnel because of the acetylene gas that he has on his truck because it's an explosive material. And one thing that I know some people may not be thinking about is where they get their water from. All those vehicles that were pushed into the water there. Think about all the liquids that come out of vehicles, the transmission fluid, the oil, the antifreeze, and all the other stuff that comes out of those vehicles. So it's a disaster on many aspects. Like you said, it doesn't matter how it happened. It's good to know, and it would be great to know if it was something that we should be paying attention to. But it's everything else that's going to affect, and that's 8,000 people is a lot of people.
Yeah. I mean, thermite explosions. Well, the thing is that let's say it was. Let's say that those were thermite explosions, right? I remember a couple of buildings 22 years ago where the same thing was studied, and they found that there was thermite or some kind of a mite used to weaken the structure. And what has been done? Who's
Absolutely
gone to jail?
nothing.
Who's gone to a military tribunal for treason? And that's my point, is that what's been done about that, but they used that in order to get us to go and do their bidding for them, right? Look, I put out a video about this, I think a couple of years ago, and it's really a shame that this is not known by the mainstream. Please, ladies and gentlemen, go research this. While you're watching this, type it in right now if you want, because this is a fact. The University of Alaska, Fairbanks, so the university that's right here, they did I think it was like a 2-year, investigation into building number 7, World Trade Center building number 7. The one that fell down, straight down? You know that one, Gray? The third one? The one that there was a British reporter standing on a balcony saying, yeah, we just got word that WT7 just fell down, on itself, and it was still standing behind her. And then it ended up falling down a half an hour later. That same one. They did a study, the University of Alaska Fairbanks, saying that there's no possible way that building could have fallen down in the manner in which it did from a fire, from an internal fire. They said that it's never happened before and that it's never happened since, and that the physics that they did says there's no possible way it could happen. No possible way. But does your average mom and pop know that? Does the mainstream media talk about that? Even 22 years later, nobody talks about that after the thousands and thousands of service members of Americans that gave up their lives, that lost their lives. And I would gather to say the 1 million+ civilians that lost their lives as well. And I would say that not even 1 in 10 people know of that study. They're going to keep it from the mainstream. People are not going to know about it. Even if this here thing was thermite, even if it was done on purpose, the people are going to know what they want them to know. And that's really all there's to it. It's like I keep saying time and time again, the only way that we can save this system is to allow it to implode so that we can start over with the same system that our forefathers left us, i.e. the rule of law, the Constitution. Because even though we're supposed to be going by the Constitution now, we don't. It's just there on paper. People say we're a democracy. We're not a democracy. We are a republic, a constitutional republic that allows people to vote for the representative. So you can say that we're kind of like a democratic constitutional republic, I guess you can say, something like that. But we're not a democracy. right? But people think we are. Why? Because that's what they want us to think. That's how they've programmed society. And until the system is done and over with, and we can start over again from the ashes, unfortunately, with a fair, honest, and real, true system that's really there for the people and by the people, these things, to me, why it happened, where it happened, it doesn't really matter too much. To me, what matters is what's going to be the outcome. What's the secondary, tertiary, fourth order effects of what just happened? Because there's nothing we could have done to stop it. And even if we know today that it was done on purpose, what's going to happen? Look at all of the things that we know is true about people that are in office right now. And they're still in office. They're still not in jail. Look at all of the people. Look at the FBI guy, Comey, I think was his name, who came out and said, this lady broke the law. She broke the law, but we're not going to prosecute because we don't think she meant it. They're not going to go to jail, Gray. So what can we do? Just talk about it and talk about it until we're blue in the face? Or can we just say, hey, what's this going to cost to happen later on? Is there something that I can use here to get prepared better for what may happen later on because of this? That's just the way I see it.
Well, and it goes back to, I think, didn't we originally title this show that we were doing, was it Informed and Prepared, Get Informed and Prepared or something like that? And because you want to be informed, so that you can say, okay, this is going on here, this is going here, and you should always be prepping. So being prepared and informed are two important topics, because it's like you said, sure, let's say bombs go off over here, let's say something's happening here or here. The thing is if you are prepping, if you're getting prepared, or trying to be as prepared as possible, that's one. I mean, you can be informed about it, but being prepared is the key point to that, because something can happen tomorrow, and if you're not prepared, you're in a bad situation for you and your family.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And it's for anything too. It's not just for one thing.
No, absolutely not.
Your basic preparedness is going to be good for almost anything that happens, right? I'm actually going to do a video later on this week. I was going to try to work on it today, but I got really busy on like four it's going to be a prepping on the cheap video on like 4 or 5 very inexpensive items that everyone ought to have that'll get them through almost any kind of a short-term crisis. So, but anyways, yeah, look at this, man. Hey, Trucker Hersey, what's up? Reinstate the Constitution. That all we have to do is abide by the Constitution, Gray, in my opinion, and 95% of the problems will be taken care of.
I agree.
More. It'll be painful though. It will be so painful if we had to go from one day to another and abide by the Constitution. It would be very painful for everyone. And I don't think that your average American would want to do it, at least not overnight. Maybe a 5-year plan where 20% every year, where you're like, okay, we're going to abide by the Constitution, an additional 20% this year. Imagine that. That's how far gone we are. Because, for example, one of the things in the Constitution is we shouldn't be redistributing wealth because the government doesn't make any money. So there should be no wealth redistribution, meaning taking from someone that earned and giving to someone that did not earn. What is it say? He who does not work shall not eat. But anyways, that's probably for another live stream.
You're making me think about something I saw today, and I was making a joke about it. It's not really a joke, but I was like, man, I said, so they're giving, I don't know if it's just the state of New York that's doing it, but they're giving the immigrants $350 a week on a prepaid card or some sort of card they can reload or whatnot. The state of New York, is it, or is it a government thing that they're doing it? $350 a week.
State of New York, I think they pledged like $53 million.
Wow,
for those gift cards, something like that. Don't quote me on that. I could be wrong, but I think that's what I heard, something like that.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Because I looked at unemployment and what they pay employment as I was looking at what they pay certain veterans, and I was like, man, these people are making it, man. I was just extremely shocked that there's a lot of people on the streets today, Americans on the streets today, that barely have enough food to survive, if any. And they're giving these people that have basically committed a crime by entering another country illegally, and they're giving they're saying, here's some money, here's this, here's that, and just It's
Let's see.
signaling to everyone else that, hey, it's a free for all. Do what you need to do.
All right, so check it out, Gray. I actually just happen to have this up, so I'm going to share it.
Awesome.
And I'm going to see if you can tell. This is part of the thumbnail that I put up for today's video, but there's some information on here that I'm going to pretty much tell you why this is all happening. Okay, this thumbnail here will tell you why this is all happening. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, go watch the video. Don't just look at the thumbnail, even though it tells you why this is all happening. So check this out. Share screen. Boom. Here it is. All right. So this is what's happening, Gray. Overload and break the welfare system. Do you think that's happening right now?
Absolutely, 100%, brother.
Okay. Have chaos ensue. Do you think that's happening right now?
Everywhere you look, you see chaos.
Okay. Take control in the chaos. Look at New York City. Who's in New York City now that's never been there on a permanent basis?
National Guard.
And the state police all over the subways, frisking, searching, Fourth Amendment violations left and right. And the people are letting it happen. You know why? Because the city has allowed chaos to ensue. You see, I think that they're doing this as a test to see how much the people will put up with. Okay. And then take a look at number 4. Implement socialism and communism through government force. Once they have the people used to all of the police state all around them all the time, it's very easy for the people to say, oh, okay, we'll do communism because it's worked everywhere else has been tried, etc. But I digress on that. But do you know what this is right here? These 4 steps, do you know where they come from? It's something I've talked about a lot lately. It's called the Cloward-Piven strategy.
Oh, that's right. I was getting a little confused because I was thinking of something else, but I'm glad you clarified.
Yeah, it's called the Cloward-Piven strategy. And let me go ahead and take this off. And for those of you that don't know, Cloward and Piven are the last names of 2 professors that worked in Columbia University. I believe it was in the late 50s, early 60s. And they came up with this strategy. Pretty much develop a system within governance that the people become dependent on. And take a look at our government. Take a look at how much money on the budget is allocated towards social programs every year that people are dependent on. Just 42 million people alone are dependent on SNAP, on a program where they can get food, right? Take a look and see how many people are dependent on all of these programs. And then what do? They allow those programs to get inflated and then get overwhelmed. Once those programs get overwhelmed, chaos ensues. They control chaos. And then they tell the people, well, if you let us take over 100% of your lives, it'll be a lot better. That's the Cloward-Piven strategy. It's been going on since the early to mid 60s. So about 60 plus years or 60 or so years. And it's worked very well. And I believe that we are towards the end of that strategy, towards the end where they're going to try to make their last moves to finally get us into becoming a socialist / communist state. Because when chaos ensues, who do people go to as their savior? They've been taught to go to government because government has been their savior, even though government has caused all the problems that the people needed to be saved from. So that's what it is.
It's a simple strategy. The more hurt they can put on the American people, and they keep on hurting them and just making things so worse. And then all of a sudden, hey, we're here to save you, man. All you got to do is this, and that, and not realize they're giving up all their freedoms for this handout.
Yeah.
It's, have you ever looked into the SNAP system and see how it works and some of the things that they ask you to do in that? I've always been curious, and I'm just one of those weird people that kind of like go a little bit deeper into what I'm supposed to be going into. And, there's stipulations on what you have to do. You have specific guidelines and all that stuff like that you have to follow. Some are enforced, some are not enforced. I've talked to people that depend on it because I get that the system was set up for people to, when in life you have a hiccup, You have a bad situation arise, and this will get you through for a couple of weeks, maybe a month or so, till you get back on your feet, and then you go back to taking care of your own, not living off the stuff for the rest of your life. I don't think, and I think some people
that's what family, church, and community is for.
Absolutely.
For those hiccups, and take a look. Great. Let's go by it one by one. I just said that's what family is for, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look at what's happened to the family. Look at what happened to the family since the early 60s, when Lyndon B. Johnson implemented the war on poverty. The family, the nuclear family.
Nuclear family.
Nuclear family. The nuclear family has gone from being 80% of families to now only being about 25%, meaning that only about 25% of families in the US now have a mom and a dad tag teaming the kids to make sure that they grow up to be good, responsible adults. Right. So there's your family. Okay. They've taken care of the family. They've pretty much destroyed it from what it used to be known as. Right. And then church, take a look at what they've done with the church. 501c3. Right. Mm-hmm. You either do what we tell you to do, say what we tell you to say, or you're not going to get your tax deduction. That's what that's for. Right. And then take a look at what was it? Family, church, and what else did I say?
Family, church, unity.
Community is all we have left. We still have community left, but then once they get that Agenda 2030 passed, and once they get it through, where like right now they're paying people to snitch on each other, we'll be done with community. 15-minute cities, we'll be done with community. We still have community left, and I think that community is very important because it starts from the grassroots. But yeah, they've done a good job, man. I mean, I do have to give them props. Evil has done a good job at trying to destroy this nation over the last 50 or 60 years.
It reminds me a little bit. This is a fictional TV show that's ended a couple years ago. I think it was called Man in the High Tower. I think it was. It was a fictional thing based on what if the Nazis won World War II in America?
I think I've seen that a few years back.
Yeah. And
I never saw the outcome of it, though. Never saw like the ending of it.
It's not too bad. They wrap it up in the 4 seasons that they do, but in that you see a lot of what we're talking about in that little kind of like fictional kind of storytelling that they do there. People ratting it on each other, telling on each other, where your paper's at. You can't, your movements are controlled, and all that stuff. And of course, there's a resistance, which would be, of course, the preppers. But it was just interesting. I love watching stuff like that to see where, I guess, the what is it called? The upper echelon of folks, because they're the writers who write this stuff, have to get the idea from somewhere. You know what I mean? And as we know, a lot of celebrities are kind of, in that weird realm of things. There's a few good ones out there, but majority of the time they're not so good. And I think it's like what was it called? Predictive programming or something like that.
Yeah.
That they put, they put that kind of stuff out there. Like here this month, we have Civil War coming out, the movie Civil War, and I guarantee it's going to be.
Want to see that? Is that going to be playing at theaters?
It'll be at theaters at first. It'll be I guarantee it's going to be a box office hit because that's what everybody's thinking. Every conversation that comes into my place of business always tends to move into, either collapse, civil war, or something really bad's going to happen. But it's always that same conversation every single week, every single, day that there's someone that comes in and starts talking, and then the group of people start talking, and it always evolves into that's where everybody think our country's headed.
You know what, Gray? Also, I always get this. AP, you're so insensitive. How can we take away SNAP? How can we take away all of these programs that take money that steal money from someone and then give it to someone else that didn't earn it? How can we do that? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the problem. The problem is the government. It's not the people that need the help. They're not the problem. It's the government. Because, Gray, let me tell you what. Let me just ask you a hypothetical question. If you paid 90% less taxes than what you pay now, would you do more or less charity?
If I paid, I would do more.
Exactly. And that's the problem. The government is the problem. The reason why we don't give as much as we used to is because we're taxed so much. They take our money by force. And trust me, it's by force. Right? They take our money, our wealth by force. Then they give it to someone else that didn't earn that money. Instead of allowing us to be a blessing to someone that needs help, then they develop a class of people that are dependent on government. They when they get that money, they don't say, "Oh, thank you very much to the person that this money was stolen from." No, they think they're getting that money from government. When government stole that money from someone by force to give it to them. So if they stopped all of these programs, I'm not talking about tomorrow. If I was president for 5 years, even though you know what I mean, I would do 20% a year. Every year, 20% less. But at the same time, guess what? You're getting taxed 10, 15% less. That way, by the time that is done, there's no social programs where money that has been taken from people is being used, but the people have more money to help their neighbor. So you see what's happened is the government steals your money to give it to someone else, and then that someone doesn't care that the money came from you. They think that they're entitled to it because the government tells them.
Mhm.
It's a huge scam is what it is. It's sad.
It's the same thing as you always tell, right? Nothing is truly free. Just because the government gives it to you, and you file paperwork every 6 months, doesn't mean that it's free. Someone somewhere is paying for that service.
Yeah,
I was
and like take a look at this, Gray. For Social Security, growing with Hudson says, yes, they're definitely stealing Social Security. The government definitely is. But one of those programs that I would say we should not stop paying out on is Social Security. I think we should stop collecting for Social Security because it's a big Ponzi scheme now. But the people that paid into it should get back what they paid into it. All right, because they paid into it. They were forced to pay into it. But they should stop Social Security. They should tell the American people, hey, I think that you're smart enough to invest your own money so that you can retire with dignity. And if you're not smart enough, you better get smart enough, or you better hire someone that's smart enough, or else you're going to be eating cat food if you can afford cat food by the time that you retire. So, but Social Security is one of those things that I would say, no, we can't cut that because people paid into that. What are they going to do now? So, no, we can't cut that. I don't think it should have ever been started. But then again, FDR being the great president that everyone says he is, he just cared about the people so much that he stole their money in order to inflate their money so that he can put them to work and pay them with the money that he stole from them. Incredible. And people fell for that. And they still fall for that because they still think he was a great president, when in fact, in my opinion, he was treasonous in what he did.
Like this is not 100% in the same what we're talking about, but I thought it was funny. So the current president decides to pay off however many millions of dollars of student loans, and then the next article it says the cost of tuition is skyrocketing.
Imagine that.
Just imagine.
I wonder why the cost of tuition is skyrocketing, right?
Absolutely.
Incredible.
It's just people always say there's nothing free in this world. Just like
hey, I do have a cat, and I do know that it's expensive, but that's the saying that everyone says, cat food.
Oh, love it, man. Yeah, it's God, yeah, animal food. I budget that into my thing because I have dogs and cats, and they eat pretty good. I give them that, man. That must be a great life. You just get everything handed to you, right?
Yeah. And you know what? The thing is, the postman, you're 100% right, man. I mean, you're the last person the last president that tried to tell us the truth, they took care of him with one bullet, they say, even though it came from 3 different directions. But anyways, even man. Trump, if you listen to Judge Napolitano, which is one of Trump's oldest friends and confidant, even Judge Napolitano said in an interview once, I think he was with Gerald Celente, He said that he asked Trump about the files on Kennedy because they were supposed to be released on their 50th year, and Trump was in office during the 50th year. And he says, no, I'm not going to release them. And even Trump said, and he asked him why. He said, Trump said, because the American people are not ready to see what's in those files. I'm like, who the heck do you think you are to tell me what I'm ready to see or not? What am I, a child? It is the duty of the office to allow those files to be seen by everyone, because that's the law. But are you above the law to tell me what I can and can't see? So that's one of the problems, is that, you know, and that's anyone that goes to office. It's not just Trump. You know, that's been done by every president that I know that's been in office since I've been alive, that they've held off on letting some old classified information out so that the people can see. You know, they work for us. And that kind of an attitude where, no, they're not ready to see this. It doesn't matter what you think, whether we're ready to see it or not. It's our right to see it. And that's the problem. We need a president that will tell us the truth no matter what. Just like, what's his name from Argentina? Milei? Is that how you pronounce his name? Milei? We need someone that's going to tell us the truth no matter what. That guy got in front of his people and says, hey, listen, we are broke. We are broke. We're going to go ahead and get rid of 80% or 70% of every government employee. And guess what he did? He got rid of 70% of government employees. I think he ended up firing like almost 100,000 people. And they did not like that. They liked the idea of being free and being economically stable when he was running for president, but they didn't like it when he started implementing those ideas and bringing them to fruition. They didn't like it then, but that's what we need, is someone to say, this is what's wrong. I don't care how you feel. If you don't like it, that's too bad, because the truth is the truth. All right. And then go ahead and take care of it and actually go through with it and do what has to be done.
Sorry, I got lost in the chat. There was some interesting stuff going on in there. It's man, you can only tell people so much. Like when I have the ability to have a conversation with someone, when they ask me a question, you know, they kind of open the doorway to have that conversation. And some people will listen and be like, wow, you're absolutely, that makes sense. You know, thank you for, you know, letting me know that and kind of bringing my attention to it. And other people are like, no, that's dumb, man. I think you're wrong. And I'm like, all right, you know, go ahead. I'm just, you know, giving you my opinion. And instead of like saying, you know what, I'm going to take what you say. Let me do a little research, check a little things here and there, and then make my own, you know, intellectual, I can't even think of the word, intellectual decision on what I think is right. You know what I mean? At least take some of the things I say and follow up with something else. You know what I mean? You know, why do I do the things I do? I said, worst case scenario, within any scenario, if you got, like how you said, a few cans of food, some medical supply, you got things just put away for a bad day, it's going to benefit you no matter how you look at it. So how is it a bad thing? How do people look at preparedness as a bad thing?
Yeah. Yeah. I want
to, you got a smile on your face. What is that?
This is funny. Amazing Grandma says, I pay for my own student loans for both of my degrees, which is awesome. I'm not laughing at that statement, but it reminded me. I was talking to my daughter about why college degrees are kind of like worthless now, you know, and so I went on a little rant, you know, and I was trying to, because she's a year away from graduating high school, right? And so I've already told her about return on investment. I've told her about AI. Make sure that the program that you decide, or the discipline that you decide to study, is not something that AI is going to be able to do in 5 years, because you'll find yourself without a job, you know, in 5 years. So we got to think about these things, right? And then I start telling her about, why do you think that college degrees are not worth as much as they were before? So I ended up telling her about how the government got involved with student loans, and ever since student loans came out, now anybody can take out a loan. And now, instead of the U.S., for example, pumping out 1,000 engineers a year from college, now they're pumping out 10,000. So there's more engineers in the system. This is just an example. More engineers than what we need. So what's going to happen to their salaries? It's going to go down, right? Because the people that are hiring have a lot more to choose from. as in when before they had a lot less to choose from, they had a higher salary. So anyways, Gray, you know what my daughter tells me after I finished telling her this? She says, Dad, I understand exactly what you're saying, and I understood it 15 minutes ago. Why did it take you so long to say that?
That's great.
Even my daughter, man, she's like, why did it take you so long to say that?
It's just, I think what people don't understand is we have so much information that's just going through our mind, and we just want to give everybody as much detail in regards to the conversation that we're having, that we want to give them everything instead of just a little bit. I don't know if that makes sense to some folks out there, but that's how I feel.
Especially if it's your kids or someone you love, right? You want to make sure that they have everything, you know, that they have every little bit covered.
You know, I always get you talk too much. I love your channel, but you talk too much. I loved when you did this video, but you talk too much. And I'm like, I'm trying to give you context to why I'm doing this video. I don't want to just do a video. I'm like, here, shove it down your throat. I want to give you context on why I'm doing this video and why it's important. And that, you know, that whole intro, like kind of like some dialogue before I go and say, hey, look at me, look what I have. You should buy this. This is really pretty. It's just going to help you in life, and, you know, that kind of stuff. And I want to give you like, why is this important? You know what I mean? Not specifically this, but, you know, as an example, before I say, hey, you know, look at this $5,000 whatever, you should buy it, because if not, you're going to die tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Well,
I don't want to be that guy.
The thing is, Gray, is that I believe in general, right? People like to talk about things that they like.
Good point.
You know, like, do you talk extensively about things that you don't like? Probably not, right? But we are within the preparedness realm, and we really enjoy doing it, and we like sharing with other people. So, you know, like, whenever I'm reviewing a stove, even though it's the 70th stove I've reviewed, I'm excited about it because I like that kind of stuff. So I like to talk about it. So, you know, when we get on here and we talk about something within either, you know, the preparedness realm or truth stuff, you know, news stuff, is because we're passionate about it. And people like talking about things that they're passionate about. So, you know, I consider it a good thing, you know, because the thing is that the more you talk about something, the more people you reach. Because whereas someone might have caught something in the first sentence, it might have taken a full paragraph for someone else to catch on. So
absolutely.
Anyways, you know, that's how I feel about that.
It's all we can do is keep on doing the things, brother, and trying to share, you know, what we know, what we come across, and just trying to help people out as best as we can. And hopefully, at least, let's say a video gets 10,000 views, maybe at least it gets one person on the right path, man. At least one person.
Yeah. Hey, you want to do that giveaway? We're at an hour.
Oh crap. Yeah, let me
Did we even cover something that you had today?
I had 3 bullet points, and since you had done the videos about them, I'm like, well, you know what? We're just gonna wing it, and I'm gonna bring certain things up that I think is and take the money and buy more preps. Yes, exactly.
Thank you, Drops.
And it's just so I think I just kind of wanted it to actually be pure natural today. You know what I mean? Just like going off each other's back and forth with our conversation, and just kind of bringing up little tidbits and stuff like that. That's what I love about this show that we do. It's not a scripted show. You know what I mean? It can go many different directions.
Yeah. And I think that's what people like. I think that's what people like about it, and I think that's what people don't like about it.
Good point.
Know? So the people that click on and say, "Oh, AP is talking again," click off, right? But then some of the people that click on, "Oh, AP is talking, man. Maybe we'll get lucky. He goes on a rant," and they stay.
Yes,
on.
absolutely, and that's what I always call the we have a core subscriber base, and no matter what video we do, if we did a video about garbage bags, they will watch that video. You know what I mean? Just because they want to know.
Awesome.
Yeah. So there's really good people.
Cicadas are back. Did you hear about that, Gray?
Yeah, the cicadas. Yes.
Cicadas. You see, you're Americanized. I'm both. You see, I'm both. I can be Americanized. I can say tortilla, jalapenos, cicadas. But I can also say tortilla, jalapenos.
It's not tortilla.
Florida. It's not Florida. It's Florida. The cicadas are back. And you do know that this is a biblical event this time around, because we've got two broods that are going to emerge at the same time, bringing over, man, great. That is an incredible amount of food. Did you double check my math on that video? We've got,
I probably, because I know I watched the video.
Yeah, we've got about 1 trillion cicadas, right? About 1 trillion. On average, a cicada weighs about 2 grams. And on average, a cicada eats about 2 times its weight daily. So we've got 1 trillion cicadas that weigh 2 grams, and they eat about twice their weight daily. That's 4 grams per day times 1 trillion. 4 trillion grams divided by 454 grams, which equals to 1 pound, comes out to just shy of 9 billion pounds a day. So you got 1 trillion cicadas that are going to be eating about 9 billion pounds of whatever it is that they eat per day. And on average, they live about 6-7 weeks. I mean, I don't know. They say that these things have been around before, and they have every 13 and every 19 years, I think it is, or 17 years, something like that. But they've never come out together, these two different broods, at the same time since all the way back in 1803. So we've never seen this before, them coming out in these numbers at the same time. It's going to be pretty interesting to see what happens. Hopefully, it'll just be nothing but hype, because I'll tell you what, with the way that the stuff in the Middle East is going, or not the Middle East, Eastern Europe is going with the food and all that kind of stuff, with the WEF not wanting farmers to actually farm at the same time that the World Bank is saying, hey, we have a major food crisis going on in the world. They're telling them they can't farm, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Hopefully these guys don't devastate crops in the Midwest, once they're in full force, I guess.
It'll all be blamed on global warming or global cooling or global climate change.
No, that's what it is. It's global warming. Hey, don't be making fun of that stuff here, man. All right, because I'm serious. It's global warming. All right, and, that brings up you see, that's what's great about this platform right here, the way we do this, because that brings up a great point that I saw in a video not too long ago. There's this scientist who has researched one of the moons. I think it's of Saturn, or it could be Jupiter. Titan, the moon Titan. I think it's a moon off of Jupiter.
Okay.
But anyways, you know what this moon's surface is, Gray? It's mostly methane. The moon's surface is mostly methane. It has an atmosphere. This moon has an atmosphere. It's methane, okay? Negative 294 degrees. And the scientists said, if this moon has an atmosphere that's nothing but methane, where's the global warming? Because methane is supposed to be a global warming gas. And he said, it's because it's not the methane, it's the sun, stupid. The farther you are away from the sun, guess what happens? The colder it gets. So we ought to be thankful for our global warming, if that's what you want to call it. And thanks a lot for saying that word, Greg, because now this got demonetized. But that's all right. I'm used to it already, man. I'm already used to being demonetized all the time.
Someone had asked this, and I wanted to answer it. They said in your video that you talked about the cicadas and fruit plants, and they were worried about their garden. And it was like, so cicadas don't possess the same mouth parts that enable them to basically consume plants in your vegetable and flower gardens. It's
really good. So I read that they live off sap.
Yeah, sap. And then that's the difference between like that and a locust or something like that,
So let me ask a question then. So I mean, that makes sense, all right, because they're different. Where are they getting this sap from?
I don't know. I've seen, I lived in Michigan a long time ago, and I used to see them out there. What was it? The maple trees and some of the other plants out there. They'd be all over those things. So I don't know. And how they react to fruit.
That's 9 billion pounds of sap a day. That's going to have some kind of an effect on something.
I'm assuming it will. I think this year people are going to be surprised. They're going to see the weather patterns doing some crazy stuff. I have a feeling Florida might be in for an interesting hurricane season. even possibly some of the Gulf states as well. I think California is going to go back into that whole drought situation. There's going to be a lot of stuff happening, which is going to further restrict the food supply that's available to us and abroad, especially adding to what you're talking about and the governments and the farmers. There's just so much happening behind the scenes with all these different pieces of the puzzles that's coming together for their grand plan. Before people actually find out how important all this stuff is, it'll be too late for them.
Yep, more than likely will. Hey, Gray, how do you like your coffee?
Some people don't like the way I do my coffee. I do it black with basically a little bit of heavy cream, because heavy cream has good fats. So I like to get those good fats in the morning from the heavy cream. So I'll add some of that in my black coffee.
That's exactly how I have my coffee. Black with heavy cream. That's it. No sugar or nothing.
No sugar, nothing like. Just heavy cream.
North Pole, Alaska, checking in.
Nice.
Good to see you, William.
You see, Yarn Purpose says, will I even get spring? Good question, Yarn.
What did Yarn Purpose say?
She says, will I even get spring? Just because of the weather patterns and stuff like that.
I mean, I don't know about here, man, but spring's already started. The drip, drop is coming down from the roof. It's Jesus. It's Jesus, Minuteman. It is Jesus. Or, hey, okay, here we go. It's Jesus.
Jesus. I know the Farmer's Almanac said something about the Midwest and that Wisconsin area that's going to be relatively dry, and temperatures will be above normal, if I recall correctly.
I'll tell you what, Gray, the Farmer's Almanac is right on. Before this winter started, the Farmer's Almanac predicted a dry and mild winter, meaning that we weren't going to have really cold weather and that it wasn't going to be a lot of snow. And this year, we probably got about half as much snow as we did last winter. And to tell you the truth, it's been a warmer winter. I mean, we had a couple of weeks stretch of like negative 45s, but that's nothing compared to what we normally have. Normally, we have like the month of January and like half the month of February where it's like negative 30 or below, that month and a half straight. I mean, this year we got negative 45 for a few days here, a few days there, negative 30 for a few days here. But it wasn't really a really long stretch of negative 30 or below weather. So I mean, it hit it right on the spot, you know? Yep.
For me, so I don't watch the Weather Channel and all that I just feel that they're too biased at this point. For hurricane stuff, I watch a guy, his name is Tropical Tidbits, and he has a website called tropicaltidbits.com. And then a lot of you folks may know even Rudy, you probably know who Ryan Hall is, right?
Yeah, Hall, y'all.
Yeah, Ryan Hall, y'all. I watch him. He's really good. He's been pretty spot on with the stuff. He's really entrenched into the independent weather guys, and they're all feeding and sharing each other's information. So between those two guys, depending on what I'm looking for, that's where I get most of my weather information at and forecasting for folks that want to know, you know.
Look, hey, man, if you want to set up your giveaway, let's do it.
Yep, let me bring this up. And where am I at? Where are you at? That's okay. There she is. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to be giving away 4 Amazon gift cards. You can have it digitally. Okay, worst case scenario, these are $25 gift cards, right? You can have it digitally sent, and they'll get to you within probably an hour or so. If for some reason you're one that who boycotts Amazon, doesn't want Amazon, I can go and I will literally buy you a Visa gift card for the same amount and mail it directly to your PO box or wherever you want. Just put that out there. You don't have to be funneled into Amazon. I just have 4 of them that I just want to give away. I just want to pass things on, basically. But the main the one we're going to do at the end after these 4 first is going to be for the Blue Yeti AC70, which is a 1,000-watt portable power station with 768 watt hours, I think. If you don't have an idea how to enter, you're 3 weeks shy of trying to do that, because everybody else that paid attention to when I started doing this, all the folks that watched those 4 review videos that I pushed out one week, because it was somewhere in March. All those folks are getting an additional entry. Just for the support of the channel. I like to do what I can to kind of help folks out there.
Are you going to put it up so that I can see it? Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah. Gotcha.
Now, what you want to do, Broody, is switch over the.
I got you. Hey, man. Hey, I got you, man. I'm a good producer.
Okay, I'll say I try to be like the director too much.
Producing. Check it out. Bam. All right.
So since we're doing it on Rudy's thing here, down below you'll see if you want a prize, please send your info to graysgiveaways@gmail.com. The faster you get me your information, the faster I can get things moving. Specifically with the Blue Yeti, because Blue Yeti is going to ship it directly to you. So I have to get your information and then forward it to Blue Yeti. Now, sometimes Blue Yeti may ask for a phone number. Give them a Google number. Give them a second line number. You don't have to give them your direct number if you're worried about that stuff. I like to always tell none of your information is being collected. It's just all for the giveaway prizes. Send it to you. That's it. This is not some sort of email list or any weird crap or any of that stuff like that. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
But I got it pretty much set up, as you can see here. Well, when Rudy brings it up, because I have no power on my end.
Okay, I just wanted you to tell me. I want to make sure that it's all right for me to bring it up.
Yeah, go ahead, bring it up, brother.
Okay.
So as people can see here, this is the Blue Yeti video, and then I have the Javelot video, the O Knife video, the funny enough, EcoFlow video, all the 4 videos that those folks are going to be getting extra entries into this. So you get more chances of winning if you had left a comment in all those videos. Just to kind of show you guys that if you see a video pop up on my channel, you just never know what might be attached to that video. So just give it a chance. You know, if you don't want to watch it, if something that doesn't interest you, just mute it and leave a comment, hit that like button. It'd be helpful to the channel. That's kind of why I like to do these surprise things. All right. That being said, let's go ahead and grab some of these comments. I'm going to go ahead and get all the comments from all these videos. Of course, refresh the page. Oh my God, they're going to make me do this all over again. This is going to drive me crazy, Rudy. I knew I waited too long. All right, let me do that. I'm going to make it easy on myself. I'm going to copy and paste all these links over here.
Go ahead, man. Do it. Hey, this is cool, man, because this shows some of our folks here, the stuff that you have to do in the background in order to do giveaways and stuff.
Yeah, it's not as easy. And I actually, like I said, I pay for the premium version of this so I can do it, which all comes at the cost of any ad revenue that I get from YouTube. Because basically, I just pour that right back into the channel for giveaways and cost in regards to what I'm doing, stuff like that. Even the extra stuff I actually just add to my preps. By far, I'm not getting rich off YouTube, folks. All right, so I copied all that because I'm worried that if I refresh it before I copy this information over, it'll all disappear. So let's refresh and see what happens. Yay, it's all gone. Luckily, I copied everything over. I just had that feeling, Rudy. Had that feeling. So let's put the Blue Yeti video right here. That'll be the first one. And then we're going to add 4 more videos. Where's that at? Where did I go? Oh, here we go. Add extra videos. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Copy those videos over because this is the only way the program can pull the comments of all the comments that folks left in those videos. That's that one. Because I think Forrest was asking me about this last week. So hopefully Forrest is in chat. And I want to say good luck to everyone out there. And I'm just kind of rambling at the time, but I know me and Rudy are also going to be having something special popping up eventually for you folks that watch our live streams. We got an idea in the works, and once we get it nailed out, we will bring that to your guys' attention as well. All right, so let me minimize this so I can see Rudy again. I got all those in there. Now, cross our fingers and hope this works. Here we go.
Man. Go for it.
All right. All right, so I have 156 unique comments. So that means all the people that put in there, 156 of you guys were consistent on pulling comments. If you were actually, you know what? I need to get rid of that, Rudy. My bad. I need duplicate users because it's going to filter out. Oh no, never mind. I did it. 352. There we go. Just want to make sure I got comments from everywhere. I'm just trying to make sure. Let me check one other thing before we pull this off. I want to make sure everyone gets 100% a thing. I just want to check my channel, look at the comment section real fast to make sure this number coincides with the videos. Blue Yeti. There we go. Bada bing, bada boom. So 100 there. Let's go to this one. I'm only going to check a couple more. Then we'll just go ahead and pull the trigger on this. 53 there. Okay, so that's a good number. Yep. We're good there. Where are you at? Oh, Rudy just disappeared on me, didn't he? Don't even worry looking it up. Just send it off my way. Right on, Quest. All right, so let's go ahead and start this. For the first 4 pulls are going to be for the gift cards. Matter of fact, I need a pen. I'm ill prepared, Rudy.
Greyman, what's going on, man?
I know. I'm ill prepared, man.
You don't even need a pen. You know what I do? You know what I do for my giveaways?
What you do, brother?
I just use the snip tool.
Oh, it's like screenshot it?
Yeah, and I screenshot it, and then I just save it on a folder that I have for giveaways.
Okay, that's a good point.
I catalog it.
I'm just going to write this part down so I know. People are probably like, any day now, Gray. All right, fire in the hole, man. Fire in the hole for the first Amazon gift card. Let's do this.
Look at this guy. If Rudy wins, I'd be suspicious.
Remember how
hey, we should have done this ahead of time where I won every one.
Oh, that would have been awesome. All right, congratulations, Valerie. Let me see here. VALERI. I guess I could do what Rudy's talking about. Just screenshot this thing here.
April Fool's, Valerie. You didn't win. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Copy that one and write it. Actually, I can't get it to copy. I think I have too many screens open to do that.
Oh, you don't have the snip tool? You know the snip tool is like the little scissors that you get to trace out whatever you want to copy.
And Valerie, if you're watching, which I hope you are, because everybody's going to have a week to claim their prizes. If not, we're going to pull for more stuff next week on my live stream next Monday night. So everybody has 1 week to claim their prizes, folks. 1 week. All right, let's pick another winner. Bada bing, bada bing. Who do we got? I wish we had some sort of drum roll thing. You know what I'm saying?
You want me to do the drum roll?
Yeah, you can do Pony Girl. Look at that. Pony
Girl comes with a win. That's awesome.
And remember, Pony Girl, if you don't want the digital version of an Amazon gift card, if you don't use Amazon, just tell me, email me at graysgiveaways@gmail.com and tell me what you prefer. If you prefer a Visa gift card or whatever you choose, just let me know in that email. All right. Third pull. The fifth pull is going to be
all Amazon gift cards, right?
Amazon gift cards, unless they choose that they want a Visa gift card, then I'll switch it up. Bada bing, bada bing. This is number 3. I got 4 of these to go. So we got 2 more to go. Who do we got? All right, Stuart's prepping.
Hey, Stuart's prepping.
Same thing, Stuart. Like I said, I don't want to be repetitive, but that's cool.
Hey,
I like seeing names I'm very familiar with.
You know what would have been a good April Fool's joke for today?
What?
You know how you tell it to take 10 seconds for the winner?
Mm-hmm.
You should have put it for like 5 minutes.
And it's just going and going and going.
Oh, that would have been hilarious. Like,
I always forget that it actually pulls up the comment that they left, and it said, "Great review, very cool hatchet. I prefer the smaller one for an EDC. Thank you, Stuart." All right,
that
so we
was
got
a pretty cool little hatchet. I like watched that video. Yeah, I watched that video. I like the real small one. To me, it looked like it was a little too thin, but it's not meant to be for heavy duty work. You know, it's just supposed to be for, you know, a branch here or something like that.
And see, I like a person who's logical, who speaks logical, because that makes absolute sense. When people say, "I can't cut wood with that," I'm like, if you're trying to chop wood for hours and hours, no, that's not.
no, that's not what it's for. Yeah,
you know what I mean. All right, so let's pick our last Amazon gift card winner, and then we're going to go for the big boy. Bring this back up so you guys can see here.
Come on, man. I need to win something. I've never won anything, Gray. Never.
You should have been part of my Christmas live stream. Tammy Harder. Congratulations, Tammy. All right, 7488. And folks, don't forget, if you email me, you got to give me the name that you want it mailed to, but also your YouTube handle, because there's lots of people out there that will be watching this and they'll try to claim that they won. And I pair everything up to make sure that you are actually the winner. Because I've had that happen a couple of times. Like when I did the giveaway bucket for GREYMAN, some person tried to say that they won it, and I already knew that Carice had won it. And a matter of fact, Carice should be receiving her bucket today.
Yeah,
all right.
That happens quite a bit, man.
Now it's time for the Blue Yeti AC70, man. 1,000-watt portable power station. I hope whoever wins this truly needs it because this is a great prep to have, folks. And before I pull this last one, I want to mention something else. You're going to see me do something tomorrow, Rudy, on a review video. It's another Blue Yeti. I have to do it because it's I think it's called the AC240, but I'm going to douse it with the water hose. Spray it down. Yeah, spray it down with our water hose.
Interested in that.
Yeah, and then see if it actually still works. So we'll see. All right, folks. Drum roll, please. Fire in the hole for the Blue Yeti.
I don't know if I can do that for 10 seconds, man. That's it, man.
Rhonda. Congratulations, Rhonda.
Comes out with the big win. Awesome.
That is awesome, Rhonda. Wow, no one could hide from me very well with that light. Thank you, Rhonda. 76. Yeah,
nice.
I recognize Rhonda's name too. I don't know if she's in chat or not, but congratulations, Rhonda. Oh yeah, she is in there. Rhonda Holt. There you go. I think that's Rhonda, right?
Rhonda Holt?
I don't know. I'm trying to find out because I got to switch over from this.
This says Rhonda H76.
Well, YouTube gave everybody an @ symbol, so you have to use that @ symbol and go. I know,
but the thing is Rhonda Holt is not Rhonda H76.
Oh, you checked it already?
No, I'm just saying. I just want to make sure that somebody doesn't think they won and they didn't win. I don't know if that's Rhonda Holt. I don't know.
Yep, it is. So when you click on that link,
awesome.
Rudy. Good. Here, let me switch it over to you. If you click on this right here, I wonder if I can let me see. Once I click on, let me see, where's my thing at? Once I click this, it takes me to the YouTube channel and it says cool. I wonder if I can let me see. If I bring that and then bring this back up, share screen right here. Share, go ahead, bring that up. So Rhonda Holt,
nice. Okay.
Yeah. So you can see that you're verifying that person because YouTube gave everybody this @ symbol.
Rhonda. Oh, I see.
Yeah. Okay. Just like we're lucky because we're creators, so we get our names. Those folks don't. So yeah, congratulations, Rhonda.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad she's in chat. That's great to know that someone's in chat. So Rhonda, graysgiveaways@gmail.com. Let me know the information where you want it sent to. So that we can send that off to Blue Yeti as soon as possible and get that sent to you. And thank you for being here, joining us on this live stream as well. We truly appreciate the support. So we have Valerie, we have Pony Girl, we have Stuart, and we have Tammy for the gift cards. And then we have Rhonda Holt for the Blue Yeti AC70. That is awesome. And I know I got more coming, Rudy. I know you got some stuff coming too. So, folks, you never know what me and Rudy are going to do. We are very big into passing things forward to you, our viewers, because we love you.
Hey, there we go. I just put up for anyone that's just joined in, Nutrient Survival gave me a 20% coupon code. So if you go to the description of this video, you'll have the link there, plus the coupon code, 20% off anything. You can even buy one of Gray's buckets and get 20% off that. Go check it out. It's only good for 3 days from today through the 3rd of April. And no, it's not an April Fool's joke. It is 20% off. I already tried it. Make sure that it works.
Minute Man, that'll probably never happen unless I hit like 1 million subscribers.
What's that?
Minuteman says, Gray, when is the Gladiator giveaway? My vehicle that I'm building out for it's my bug out vehicle that I've been working on for over a year and a half now. Yeah.
Nice.
But I'm still working on it. One of these days, I'm going to do a full breakdown video of it once I get everything tweaked on it.
Cool.
But I hope everybody, I appreciate everybody who participated in these giveaways. I really appreciate the support. and you guys are awesome, because without you, there is no us, folks.
Hey, Gray, I just want everyone to acknowledge that I've been very good during your giveaway.
Absolutely, man.
I
Perfect.
even took myself off the screen a little bit because I thought I wanted to say something. I'm like, no, let me just take myself off the screen.
Love it, man. Love it.
What else do you got, man? What else do you got? Let's see. Do you have any questions that you want to answer?
Do you see anything popping up? You have the control.
I'm talking about like, you know, from comments.
Let me see here. Let me back up. Let me see if we got anything here. Oh no, yeah, I don't have that paper with me. I kind of gave up on that, man. We never get a chance
to it.
Yeah. We would have to like dedicate one of our videos to answering viewer comments.
You know what? Maybe we ought to do that next time around or whenever. If you don't want to do it on the next one when it's on this channel or whenever, you know, that'll be cool to be able to do that.
It's easy to do it, whoever's going to do it, because the way I did it last time is I have a program that pulls every comment from a section, and then I copy and paste them into an Excel spreadsheet and print it out.
You know what? The Unknown Knows by Voivod. Oh my goodness. My favorite manual can opener. It's on my Amazon storefront. I just don't know what the name is, but it's one of those manual can openers that's got a long handle. It gives you a little more torque or more leverage. Well, it gives you more leverage, which gives you more torque. So yeah, it's on there. It's awesome. It's a great can opener. It works just as good on regular size cans than it does on number 10 cans.
You know, surprisingly, my KitchenAid can opener has been going strong for 3 years now. 3 years.
Is it a mechanical one or one of the handheld?
It's a manual. It's
manual. Yeah. I think I have a KitchenAid that is the smaller one. I have both types, you know, because that big can opener, I can't really fit it in a drawer in the kitchen. So it's not like something that I want to have 2 or 3 of, but you know, I have it like it's not in a regular can opener spot in one of your drawers. You know, it's like in a little kitchen cabinet. And that's usually not where you keep a can opener, but this thing is really big. I have the regular ones too. And to tell you the truth, I prefer the big one. I mean, that one works great, especially if you have problems with dexterity in your hands and your fingers.
Yeah, it's definitely, I like that. I have enough. So I buy a lot of stuff from commercial stuff, like, you know, commercial size things that I can do, just because they are built to last and be used thousands and thousands and thousands of times. So when I find stuff like that, Minuteman, that would be interesting to watch. Minuteman, you should do a video on your channel opening up cans from your preps with your 12 gauge. You know, he should be showing,
man. Hey, I got something exciting, man.
Okay, I'm listening.
I can't wait till I do this video.
Okay,
I'm going to do a video. I found, look, this is what get preppers excited, right? I found a vacuum sealed pack of 2 packs of ramen noodle that's like 12 years old.
Nice.
All right, vacuum sealed 2 pack of ramen noodles that's like 12 years old. And I also, in that same pack, I have some of those, you know, those blocks that are like, you know, those blocks that you eat, they're like to put in your car. They come like in those little silver packets.
Oh, it's SOS. Like the SOS rations.
I got a couple of those that are like 12 years old also. And I've got a Snickers bar and a Milky Way bar that's like 12 years old.
Nice.
I'm going to be having a party, man. I'm going to be doing a video trying those out.
You know, it's funny that those SOS rations are great. I keep a couple of my everyday carry, my bug out bags, because they're the only food that I know that I can put in Florida heat in my car and not have any issues with in an emergency. Nice. The only things that can last in the Florida heat, being in your car for years and years at a time.
And I'll tell you what, man, I bet you if you take a number 10 can of whatever Nutrient Survival has and throw it in your trunk a year after, I bet you it'll be good. You should try that. That'd be a great experiment.
That is a good idea. Yeah.
That would be a great experiment. Maybe if you want, I would do it, man, in the can it would get so hot too because it's metal. I was gonna say maybe it'd be better if you got like a you know, the variety packs that they sell. that have like a few different types, grab one of those variety packs and throw it in the trunk of your car and leave it there for a year.
I have a
And
bunch of variety packs. I can take it a step further, Rudy. I can throw it in my bed in my vehicle, and so much happens in that bed, man. You know, it could be rain.
well,
It could be
you run the risk of puncturing them. So
no. I'll put it in a box so that it just sits there.
Do it,
where,
man.
like,
That would be
it's
such
like
a great experiment. I think
it's
it
like-
would last just from the experiment that I did with the food that I have under my tent here. I
Yeah,
mean,
'cause
all the
it's
way
like-
from negative 45 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit is still good after 2 years.
Yeah, it's a basket, so it won't hold water. It might get wet. It'll sun and all that stuff like that.
This guy's a comedian. Man. I think he's talking to me about the ramen noodles.
You know, I'm really curious to watch that video, Rudy, because I get ramen. The kid loves ramen noodles. They're not the healthiest thing, of course, but she likes them. And someone said, you know, those noodles don't last that long. And I'm like, I don't know. Some people have called it a food that lasts forever. But if everything,
it's not. Well, it will. You can eat it. You can eat it. It's the rancid. Ramen noodles. People don't know this, but most brands of ramen noodles, it's deep fried. Those noodles are deep fried. And I've had ramen noodles get rancid over time. Now, and I researched rancid oil. It will not, it won't hurt you. It'll just give you indigestion, stomach ache. You might get the run, stuff like that. But in the worst of worst situations, Gray, calories are king. Right? Calories will keep you alive in the very worst of situations.
It's almost
Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's almost the same premise as if you have stored rice and you get, what is it, weevils?
Oh, you just eat the weevils.
Yeah, you just eat them. Like I said, don't throw it away. It's just extra protein, I guess.
Yeah. But what I would do with, and this is going to be very interesting because I haven't opened this pack. I'm going to do it on camera. But this is what I'm going to do if it is rancid. What I'm going to, and I don't think it is because it's vacuum sealed and you need oxygen. Oxidation needs oxygen, right? And that's what rancid oil is. This oil that's been oxidized. But if for some reason it is rancid, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cook it, and then I'm going to go ahead and flush it with water a few times to try to get that oil off of there, and then see what it tastes like, see if it's edible. Because, man, ramen noodles after 12 years, if you can actually eat it, man, that's a great thing to know. Now, for those people that like ramen noodle types of foods, the cup of noodles, those noodles are not deep fried. Cup of noodles, as long as you have them sealed, will last a really long time.
You know, I really want to do the Twinkie test, man.
Don't do it. Don't do the Twinkie test. I had when I was in Iraq. Was it Iraq? Yeah, Iraq. I had a lieutenant that every morning he ate a Twinkie. Every morning. He found a Twinkie inside of a desk that was years old, and he took a bite and he almost puked.
Oh, wow.
So ever since I saw that, I'm like, yeah, that's never going to work. I'm never going to try that. So anyways, I mean, give it a try. It'll make good YouTube.
Yeah. I mean, a good point. I was that, because I just want to reflect on Zombieland and the whole Twinkie hunt. I wonder though, I've seen people do some crazy stuff with their freeze dryers.
Yeah.
Freeze drying Twinkies and candies and chocolates and all kinds of stuff like that. I'm always wondering what the capabilities are.
This guy's comparing a 12-year-old Scotch or bourbon to a 12-year-old ramen.
That's great, man. That is great. Yeah, AP has a stainless steel grunt stomach for sure.
I can eat anything, man. I can eat anything. One of the things that's getting to me as I'm getting older, I've noticed that whenever I eat pork, it doesn't set very well. And it doesn't matter how I cook it. So it's not something that I eat very often. So whenever I eat, because I remember like the last 3 times that I've eaten pork, I remember back, I'm like, man, I didn't feel good that day either, the day after I ate it. And then this last time, about a week and a half ago, I ate some pork that my wife made, and it was really good. And the next day, I didn't feel very good. I was like, man, it's got to be the pork. Every single time it's happened the last three or four times or so that I've had it.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, me personally, I'm more of a beef and fish guy.
Oh,
I
me
like
too.
those two. Yeah, love beef and
But
fish.
have you ever had Iberico pork?
No, I
They
have
call
not
it they
actually.
call it the Wagyu of pork. It comes from Spain.
Really?
Yeah, and they're raised special in only a certain part of Spain, and that's it, only in this one region. And I believe that they live off of chestnuts, I believe it is. And that's all they eat. And I'll tell you what, Gray, it's delicious. Oh my, it's so good.
see,
Delicious.
see what drops Family Garden put. It's a good point.
What's that? I didn't see.
You're four. What are you? 441.
Okay, here you go. We laugh, but ramen noodles will be the last food next to. Hey, man, I'm not hating. No one should be hating on ramen noodles. Heck, with some eggs in it. Have you ever made that, Gray? Ramen noodles, and you take some scrambled eggs, and put it in there
Not,
with a little bit of Spam cubed up. That's
I,
eating good, man.
I don't want to tell you how much ramen noodles I had. I used to be extremely as a teenage kid, man. That was like a go-to, man. And I would take it a step further and eat more sodium by adding cheese in there and just having melted cheese, like macaroni and cheese ramen noodles with all the other sodium packets in there and stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean it's really so very bad for you, but hey, that's okay. Once in a little poison once in a while, you know.
Yeah, I had a doctor on my channel. I think she said she's a doctor or something, nurse doctor, and she said, yeah, if your daughter really likes Spam, you should get the Spam light. And I said, well, she's young. I can tell her to do that. Not she's gonna do that. But I said you can rinse the Spam and take some of that sodium out. You know what I mean? It's
well,
just
it's not that big of a deal, Gray. I looked at it. I do like the Spam light better than the regular Spam, just because it's not as salty. So I mean, I like it, but the difference in sodium is like 200 milligrams.
That's it.
It's not that much of a difference. No, I mean, like the last time we had some Spam light because it was next in the line as far as dates. And I asked my wife, I was like, this tastes almost just as salty as the regular Spam. And so that's what prompted me to go take a look at the sodium. It's like 200 milligrams per serving less. So it's not that big of a deal on sodium.
Good to know. And it's not like she eats it every day. It's like, once a week she wants some Spam and rice and the things that she does. She stir fries it.
Oh man, Spam with rice. That's a meal right there, man.
But it's like I tell everybody, when you're building a prepper pantry, you have to get the foods that your family likes. And if they like Spam, stock Spam. You know what I mean?
Sean Arndell, why do you think salt is so bad for you? I don't think salt is bad for you. It's just that I think it's salty. I'm just talking about my palate here. Like the regular Spam to me tastes salty. I love regular Spam and I love it with rice. So like if I'm going to have regular Spam with like rice or any kind of Spam with rice, I'll not put any salt in the rice when I cook it because I know that Spam is so salty. But no, I think that now this is me. I'm not a doctor or anything like that. Obviously, I'm not that smart, but I think that you can eat as much salt as you want. I think that one of the big reasons why salt is an issue in Western diets is because of all the other stuff that you eat that makes your body hold water. I don't really think it's the salt as much as all the other stuff that makes your body hold water. But that's just me thinking out loud, ladies and gentlemen. So no, I think you should be able to eat as much salt as your body tells you. If you cook a piece of meat, like when I cook my steak, tonight I'm going to cook a steak for dinner. I already salted it. So the salt is there. Allowing the steak to sweat the juices from the inside out and then suck it back in. That's called dry brining. So when I cook that when I cook that steak and I take a bite, if I feel that it needs more salt, I'll keep putting more salt on that until I'm satisfied. And if my body keeps telling me that, hey, you need more salt on that, I'll keep putting it on. And once you've got more salt than what you need, it won't taste good. And you'll put less salt in it. So that's how I do that. I think as long as you listen to your body, you're going to be fine.
I agree, man. It's a nutrient that we need in our bodies. And there's a lot of misconceptions about salt the government tells you. Now, like I said, we're not doctors or nothing, but If you have something specifically an issue with salt, then of course that's going to be different for you. But for most folks, salt is something that's essential to the body for it to function properly.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If you ever seen animals out there when they're licking rocks and stuff like that, they're trying to get that salt out of there and other macronutrients out of there. Animals will travel miles and miles and miles and miles to find salt because they need it. It's a
so my dog, my new puppy, guess what I caught her eating? Chicken poop.
Oh, chicken poop? Because of the nutrients inside of it?
I know. I was like, my wife was like, what? I'm like, she must need nutrients. Yeah. And then I seen her digging in the dirt. Yeah, that's what it is. And so like my wife changed over an aloe plant from one pot to another yesterday, and she was inside the old bowl eating the dirt that was left over. I'm like, there's nothing wrong with that. Just needs nutrients. That's all.
Yeah, and Palmer, I agree with you. I have done that a lot in regards to the ramen. I've not used the packets and added my own specific seasonings that I have to give it the flavor that I'm looking for. Just because I'm a weirdo like that, I just like to create my own concoctions and stuff like that. But I agree. You know, if you want to bypass some of this stuff that's in there, you can substitute other things for that, like just some garlic. Add some garlic, some pepper, you know, stuff like that in there. Like I said, anything when it comes to food, everybody has a preference. Everybody's palate's different. Everybody's diet's different. You know, everybody's restrictions are different. When I talk about food, I always tell people, I said, this is what I prep. This is what I eat. This is why I do what I do. Hence, I give context to my videos so that people like, you know, just because I like this doesn't mean you're going to like it. But this is just what I do on my end for me and my family to give you ideas that may work for your family. And I always tell people, I said, don't buy a case of it until you've tried it to make sure that everybody likes it, or at least you like it. Yeah, you want to buy just a little bit here and there. And if it works out for you, then boom, go for it.
Jerry Montejano, AP, an update on your sugar. You know, my sugar numbers are good. You know, they're not great. I'm still doing the same thing I've been doing, except for on weekends. I allow myself to pretty much eat whatever I want, but I don't go overboard. You know, when people say that, they're like, oh my God, so you're undoing your entire week in the weekend. No, if I want to have some, like last weekend, I had some eggs. Man, Gray, I didn't know this was so good. So my wife and my daughter had made some nachos, and there was a little bit of, you know, the tortilla chips, you know, like the bottom that's got all the little crumbs.
Yeah.
So I scrambled up some eggs. And I put the crumbs in the eggs and I let it soak up a little bit, and then I fried it. Oh my goodness, that was so good. It tasted delicious. Really? Yeah. So I allow myself to cheat, stuff like that. This weekend we had some pizza, right? So I had like 3 slices of pizza this weekend. So my sugar's doing good. I haven't had my A1C done in a little bit. I'll probably wait till like the middle of summer, June or something like that to do it. But other than that, it's not bad. I'm averaging in like the low hundreds, like 105, 110. If I eat something like, let's see, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I made some oxtail because we have some company, a friend of ours or friends of ours come over, made some oxtail, made a little bit of white rice. I had myself some white rice with oxtail and veggies. It was delicious. And my sugar went up to like 140, 145, and then it came back down to about 105, 103. So it's not as good as I would like it to be, like in the 70s and 80s. But then again, I'm diabetic. So for it being in the low 100s, and every once in a while, I'll see it in the, like if I'm out here in the yard working for an hour or so, walking around, it'll get to the low 90s. And for me, that's really, really good. So yeah, it's not bad. I haven't lost any toes yet. Let's put it that way. But thanks for asking. Thank you for asking, man.
And Oki Khan, I agree with you 100%. She said spices are underrated prep. I buy spices in bulk because who wants to eat plain rice
spices, and man? Yeah. I just bought one. This is not too long ago. I think I put it on a payday prep. I bought two 5-pound bags of garlic powder.
Nice.
And, and at a really good price from Amazon. And I think it came from India. And you know, in India, their stuff that they grow over there is like 99% all organic. So yeah, good stuff. Yeah, and spices will last so long as you properly store them. The big thing with spices is keep moisture away. So if you have high humidity, make sure that you vacuum seal it, put an oxygen absorber in there, and a desiccant packet. That's how you pronounce it, right, Greg? Desiccant?
Yeah, I buy desiccant. I buy the desiccant packets in bulk because I live in Florida and we're in a high humidity area. So
Yeah,
even in
yeah,
my temperature controlled room, I still throw an extra
yeah.
desiccant packet
I
in
don't
there.
because we don't have high humidity here where I live. Not at all.
I can
But
say,
hey, Greg, guess what, man? I haven't bought any eggs at all for, I don't know, 6 months now. I think
oh,
since like October, I haven't bought one egg from the store.
I want to add to that. I was thinking about that too with you and your eggs. So I think I might have told you last week on the live stream. I met a guy who will sell me unwashed eggs, right, from his
Yeah.
farm. Nice guy, him and his wife, and he is like an egg connoisseur, right? Come to find out, the eggs that we buy in the store are probably almost a year old.
Well,
Literally almost a year old.
they get radiated, don't they?
Yes. He says,
They
but
kill it.
they'll sit.
It's
They
nothing but the stuff that you buy at the
crazy.
store. And I'm not giving anyone a lecture here because I still buy most of the stuff that we consume from the store. Right? I try to be I mean, I would say 95% of everything I eat is just meat, right? But it's very expensive trying to buy the really good meat. I'm talking by a lot. So like
Mhm.
I pretty much live off of meat that's from Costco. We do have a couple of butcher shops around here, but I can't afford to pay $37 a pound for beef. You know, and
Mm.
if it, I figured the math. If it was just me eating, I would have to eat at least a pound and a half of meat a day. That's what when I only eat meat, like during the week, like today, all I eat today is meat. And I had eggs too, because it's just pure protein. But if I'm only gonna eat meat for food for that day, I need at least a pound and a half, because that's all I'm eating. So if I were just eating a pound and a half of meat a day and I multiply that times 30, just for me, $1,500 a month. If I buy the organic Black Angus beef from a butcher, I can't afford that. I can't afford that. So I do the second best thing that I can do. I get my meat from Costco, variety at Costco. But it is what it is. I'd rather do that than to, be doing what I was doing before, which was pretty much destroying my health.
See, Deborah Calvert says, question to AP and Gray. Did you hear about the April 8th event that they're going to be 2 rockets fired at the solar eclipse, or is that just another BS going around? I haven't heard nothing about that.
Whoa, wait a minute. Gray, not only do you have a challenge, but we have with us, ladies and gentlemen, a superstar in the YouTube community. And his birthday is actually coming up in, I believe, 18 days. I think it's April 19th. And that is Mr. Tom from
Mr. Tom.
Alabama with Mr. Tom. What is up, Mr. Tom? Mr. Tom says that those store eggs are not a year old.
So you're telling me the 90-year-old man that's an egg connoisseur is wrong? I'm going to have to do some research. I guess I shouldn't take people for their
please
word.
do, because I'm very interested in that. That's an interesting topic. But anyways, hey, listen, man. So guess what I did, Gray, with my chickens? So I want to see if they will hatch some chicks on their own, right, without me incubating them. And I noticed that they are now in the I want to have some chicks mode, right? Because whenever I go in there to get the eggs, I actually have to pull them off the eggs. They don't want to get off them, so that I can collect my eggs. And when I do pull them off, they want to peck at me. They get violent with me, right? So what I did was I brought a magic marker in there, a Sharpie. I brought a Sharpie in there, and I marked like 7 or 8 eggs with an X on both sides.
Okay.
And whenever I come to collect my eggs, I don't take those eggs that I marked with an X. So they stay on those eggs all day and all night long. If I went out there right now and showed you with a camera, there's going to be a chicken laying on those eggs. And they rotate, they take turns. So I'm hoping that in about 3 weeks or so, we'll have some chicks coming up just to see what happens. But yeah, but like I said before, I haven't gotten any eggs from the store for it's got to be close to 6 months. And if they can have their own chicks, it's going to be so awesome because I'm going to probably double my flock by the end of this summer. I'll see if I can double what I've got now, which I don't have that much. I only have I have 9 layers and I have 2 roosters. Well, I mean, one of the roosters, I'm not sure if you remember, one of the roosters is a one of the roosters transed over to rooster from hen. So he identifies as rooster and he crows like a rooster too. So I don't know what to call him. I don't want to get in trouble either, Gray. What do you call a rooster that used to be a hen and now crows like a rooster? Because that's Big Red. Big Red is my rooster that used to be a hen.
That's crazy.
So yeah, I got 2 roosters.
So Mr. Tom is right. Maybe he just wants to sell me. This guy wants to sell me more eggs, even though he's a really nice old man. But it says here, this is as far as I can find. It says farmers have 30 days from the day an egg is laid to get it to stores. Then the stores have another 30 days to sell the eggs. However, most eggs in the U.S. reach grocery stores and other retail outlets just 1 to 2 days after being laid, and nearly half of them reach the store within 72 hours a day. That being said, it says on average, eggs can be up to 2 months old by the time you buy them.
Yeah, I mean, my eggs right now, we consume our eggs a little bit at a little bit less rate than what our chickens produce. So I'm averaging between 7 to 9 eggs a day. That's what I average. And between my wife and my daughter and myself, we probably eat between 6 to 9 eggs every other day. So we're getting about almost twice as much as what we need. So usually about every 2 weeks or so, we have to give a couple of dozen away. We give them to our son. So, hey, check this out. This is so funny, man. Listen to this. This Minuteman, we got to get him on a live one of these days so he can do some jokes. I eat 1 pound of hamburger, 2 candy bars, and drink 2 beers. Oh, man, that's awesome.
I saw up here, says Nostradamus says 2 of my clients are large poultry companies. Store-bought eggs are typically 2 to 4 months old.
Man, look at this. Take America Back from Israel says, I only eat Wagyu from Japan, $125 a pound. I wish that Wagyu here was $125 a pound. I've eaten Wagyu like 3 times since I've lived here. And over at Tommy G's, a pound of Wagyu is $240 or something like that. A pound.
So, thank you, Drop.
I've had Wagyu a couple of times. And man, it's super expensive up here.
Extremely expensive. There's a lot of people chiming in on the egg stuff, and I appreciate all that information. And remember, folks, we're talking about unwashed store-bought eggs. We're not talking about fresh eggs from a farm or from like Rudy's little hen house. I think, let me see if you can pull more eggs. Unwashed eggs can last for weeks, not refrigerated. Yeah, unwashed eggs, that's a whole different ball game. I have unwashed eggs sitting on my counter, and they've been there for almost a month now.
Hey, easy there, amazing grandma. All right, we don't want to get shut down here. We don't want to get shut down.
Bill B says spam is almost like Wagyu. Yeah, God.
Oh, that'd be so hilarious. No, it's Big Red, okay? You guys are killing me. Man, look at how cheap eggs are now. Linda Bob, 5 dozen for $10. Well, I mean, wow. I guess that's not that cheap. I remember when eggs used to be like 69 cents a dozen.
Yeah, but I remember that too.
I mean, here at Costco, I still go to the egg section because that's where they have the cream and the butter and stuff. And I think that the organic eggs that they have there is like 2 dozen, and it's like almost $9.
That's cheaper than me.
Yeah, when you compare that to those, that's not a bad price.
Yeah, here for supposedly you know, grass, whatever the heck they say on these cartons. It says they can range anywhere from $4 on the cheap end, like the store versions of them,
Yeah.
or the fancy versions up to like $9 to $11 just for a dozen eggs. That's why I like my egg plug. It's funny. It lets me go out there and see the chickens and actually watch. I get to watch them grab all the eggs and stuff. It lets me mess around out there because that's what I want is chickens like you, Rudy. But hopefully one of these days.
Yeah. And you know, the thing is too, man, I think I'm doing really good on expenses. Just talking about the food here, just the food. Obviously, it's going to take me a very long time to get my ROI. Because of building a shed, you know, the way that I built it. But on food, I think I'm coming in pretty even. I want to say I spend between 35 to $50 a month, because they do have their spurts where they eat a lot, and then they have their spurts where their food bucket lasts them 3 or 4 days. That bucket that I put in there that hangs, it's a 12-pound bucket, and if I put it there, it'll last them roughly 3 days before I have to refill it. Sometimes it'll last them a little longer. Sometimes they'll go through it in 1 day, right? So, but I'm averaging probably about $50 a month feeding them their regular crumbs, their crumbles, plus I give them some scratch, I give them some bugs, you know, mealworms, crickets, stuff like that. I give them the stuff that the WEF wants us to eat. I just give it to the chickens. So I probably spend about $50 a month roughly. And for that, we're getting eggs. We're averaging, what did I say? Probably about between 6 and 9 eggs a day. So let's just say it's 6. We're averaging roughly 4 dozen eggs a week. So in a month, we're getting about 16 dozen eggs for about $50. That's not bad.
JT just brought something to my attention at let me see, you're 4 hours behind me. So 5:01 JT.
Oh, it's Jay. It's been 2 hours already.
Holy 2 hours. God. I didn't even know. I wasn't paying attention to the time because it's on your channel, so I don't see the same thing that you see.
Oh man! All right, Gray. All right. Let me go ahead and plug Nutrient Survival one last time, in case those of you weren't here earlier. If you take a look down below, and also in the description of the video below, there's a 20% off coupon for Nutrient Survival if you want to take advantage of that. It's something that I asked the CEO. I actually asked him for more, but he said, 20% is all we can do. And that I understand. It's going to be good between today and the 3rd of April. So if you want to take advantage of that, use my link and it will support this channel. And you can even buy a GREYMAN bucket and get 20% off of it if you want that. And my bucket is actually still there, Gray. The Alaskan
really?
bucket is actually still there. And it's one of the best sellers, by the way. So that's pretty awesome. But other than that, Gray, you take it away.
I just want to add to make sure that Valerie, Pony Girl, Stuart, and Tammy all make sure they go to gracegiveaways@gmail.com to claim your $25 gift cards. And Rhonda Holt, don't forget to email me as well in regards to winning the AC70. Thank you guys for being such great subscribers. Other than that, folks, we want to thank you so much for spending 2 hours. I didn't realize this 2 hours. 2 hours with us and hanging in there with us and having this great conversation. As always, Rudy, always thank you for inviting me over. Next week will be on my channel. Go over there and 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's what, 3 o'clock your time, Rudy, I think?
Yes.
In regards to the start time. Other than that, folks, remember, you got a, whatchamacallit right there at the end.
What's that? Oh, I got a super chat here. Oh,
yeah.
I didn't even notice that. Have you looked into fermented feed? I have looked into that, and you know what? I have to do that. You should be able to stretch much further, and it's more nutrient dense. Yes, Chris Hill. First of all, hey, Chris, it's really good to see you. I haven't seen you in a little bit. But yes, I've actually looked into that, and it's better for the chickens, and it stretches a longer way. So I just have to do it. I have to actually try it. So yeah, thanks for reminding me about that. And I just want to say, before we get off here, okay, we probably won't have a live. So I want to say, and I know he's still listening, I want to say, everyone say happy birthday to Mr. Tom 17 days ahead of time, okay? Because on the 18th of April, I just checked this on a Thursday. It's going to be Mr. Tom's 97th birthday. And so everyone say happy 97th birthday to Mr. Tom 17 days ahead of time. All right, happy birthday, Mr. Tom. If I don't talk to you or if I don't remember to put it up on the 18th of this month. And I am sure that the 18th will be a very good day.
Yeah, happy birthday, Mr. Tom.
Yeah, happy 97th birthday to Mr. Tom.
97th, man. That's a ripe old age, Mr. Tom.
Okay, I'm just kidding, Mr. Tom. You know that. Don't come after me. All right, man. All right. Hey, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining in. God bless every one of you. God bless America. I'm Alaska Prepper. I am out. And Gray, now you can really take it away.
Again, thank you guys for taking this time to watch us this evening. We truly appreciate your support. Folks, remember, you are not alone. This is GREYMAN and Alaska Prepper, and we're out. God bless, and thank you for watching.
You know what I just realized? I forgot to do our intro after the Star Spangled Banner. Go ahead and do our intro and outro at the same time.